In this video, you are going to learn how to find the y-intercept of a graph, but before we go into our examples, first you need to know what we mean by the term y-intercept. The y-intercept is the y-coordinate of the point on a graph where the line crosses the y-axis. When the line crosses through the origin, the y-intercept is 0. An example of this is this graph here to my right. If you look at this graph, you will realize that the line crosses through the origin or goes through the origin. So it cuts the y-axis at the origin. Therefore, the y-intercept is 0. This graph is said to be proportional because it's a straight line and it is going through the origin. The y-intercept for a proportional relationship graph is always 0. If you look to the right here on this graph, the blue line, it crosses the y-axis above the origin. So this is our origin right here. This is our origin, and this blue line is above the origin. It means that our y-intercept is going to be positive. If the line crosses below the origin, our y-intercept is going to be negative. So we should know whether or not our y-intercept is going to be 0, negative, or a positive value based on certain key concepts. Now, looking at our example here, it says how to identify the y-intercept given a table or a graph. Given any one of these diagrams, you should be able to identify the y-intercept. So let us start with the table. So how do we know the y-intercept, or how can we identify the y-intercept given a table? So first, remember, we need to identify a y-intercept is made up of an x and a y value, that's a point. So the y-intercept is always the value of y when x is 0. So if you look at the table here, when x is 0, y is what? -5. So -5 would be our y-intercept. It means that if you should at these points on a graph, the line would crosses the y-axis below the origin. All right, again, using a table. How do we identify the y-intercept? The y-intercept is a value of y when x is 0, or the y-coordinate when x is 0. Now, looking at my graph here, is my y-intercept going to be positive or negative? It's going to be a positive y-intercept. Why? Because the line crosses the y-axis above the origin. So now, what is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is right here. This is where the line crosses the y-axis. It crosses it at 2. So my y-intercept, which is the same thing as b is equals to 2. Let me just write it over here again. B is equals to -5. So B is used to denote the y-intercept. It represents the y-intercept. Looking at these two other examples, number 3, what is the y-intercept of this graph? If you notice, the line crosses the y-axis below the origin, so we know that our y-intercept here is going to be negative. Another thing to do is that you must know how to read your scale, so you can know what is the value of your y-intercept. You must understand your scale. So from here to here, here is 0. From here to here is 1. And why this is not 1, -1, is because from 0 to here is -2. That means -1 is halfway between 0 and -2. So if here is -1, that means halfway between -0 and -1 is going to be -0.5. Therefore, our y-intercept, which is b, is equals to -0.5. So that is our y-intercept. And if you look to the example on my right, if you notice the line starts at the origin. And another point to note is that the y-intercept is also known as the initial value. Initial means where it begins. So it's either can go through the origin or begin at the origin. So therefore, our y-intercept here, which is b, is equals to 0. Therefore, our y-intercept is 0.